Hello, welcome to the channel. Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. Today we are with Catherine. She is from England and maybe we will be talking about life experience, feelings and thoughts. Hello,
Hello.
Catherine.
Hi.
How old are you?
Well, they do say you shouldn't ask a lady how old she is, but I am going to tell you I'm 62.
62. How was your childhood?
My childhood was I felt very safe, very secure, very loved, well looked after. We didn't have a lot of money, but we weren't poor. We had enough. It was quite a calm upbringing. But looking back, I know that my family was Catholic and it was a very religious upbringing and quite a limited upbringing because I went to a Catholic school and a Catholic church, and my outlook at that time was very much shaped by that religion.
Okay. What did you learn from this stage?
That stage, the importance of education. I think it was always encouraged, and treating people well and caring for each other.
Yeah. How was your adolescence?
Okay, so I I went to a Catholic secondary school, but as you get older you start to form your own ideas and opinions and challenge things, received ideas a bit more. But again, I enjoyed my education. I was a very studious young person, did my best. I got the qualifications that I needed at school. Again, I'd say I was quite contented.
In your house, everything
yeah,
alright?
Yeah. I have siblings. They were a little bit more rebellious than me. I was the younger one. I always just did what I was told, and they pushed the boundaries. And they say that I was a real goody-goody, but I was just doing what I was told. I didn't think I was a goody-goody.
What did you learn from this stage?
I suppose I was gaining more awareness of different viewpoints and perspectives on the world. Again, I did feel that I really valued education. My sister wasn't into studying at all. She hated it, and she could have got a lot better results than she did.
Why she hated it?
She was always wanting to be more of an adult when she was still a teenager. And in the world, she couldn't wait to go to work. She didn't want to study.
Maybe more independent?
More independent, yeah. She was really good at art, so she got her art, but she didn't get much else because she didn't apply herself. And then later in life, she's realised that she needed that, and she's done more study later in life. So, yeah.
Earlier or later?
Yeah.
How is your adulthood going?
I think my adulthood has been a series of complete changes along the way. I never really had a plan mapped out for what I was going to do. I didn't even know. I went to university and I didn't know what I wanted to do as a career myself. And it was about 2 years after leaving university that, after some research, I decided to be a librarian. And I went down that route of training and then working in libraries, mainly in schools and in colleges, helping young people. I realised I really enjoyed that. At that time, I didn't think I wanted a family. I felt very independent. I was pleasing myself, building my career. I think as I got older, into my 30s, I started thinking, I better think about, do I definitely not want to have a family? And I decided I think I did want a family. And I met a lovely man, my husband now, and we have one daughter. So that was a big change. But he was happy to be the home carer and childminder, and I carried on back at work after maternity. And I did that for quite a few years. and then opportunities were reducing for jobs, and I decided to retrain then, and that's when I thought, what can I do that uses my skills of information handling, but also my love of dealing with people, helping people, and I decided on careers advice. So again, I retrained, and then that's what I'm doing now.
Great. Do you dedicate yourself to giving people advice or guiding them to discover what their tastes and passions are in their lives?
That's a really good question. It depends what the person wants. I can, if somebody just wants some information about some opportunities, I can just do that. If they want some advice, I can present them with lots of different options. I never try and tell somebody what to do. I want them to decide for themselves. It's only going to be right if it's their decision. I never say you ought to do this course, you ought to do this job. That wouldn't be right. And it also wouldn't be ethical. I give them the information. If they want to explore with me what might really engage them and keep their interest and be their passion in a career, then I will go through a series of questions with them to really find out what motivates them, their strengths, their likes, their dislikes, because they're as important as the likes. And then we can look together at possibilities, and then it's up to them. Yeah, so I can help them if that's what they want, but some people just want a piece of information.
Oh, okay, no guiding, just why do you think people don't know what are their tastes or what they want to do in the life? Why they don't know?
It's really hard to decide, and I found it hard. I mean, I was, followed a standard educational route, and even then I didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to do. Sometimes you have to try things and see if that's what you want to do. Some people just not aware of the opportunities or possibilities. I had virtually no careers guidance at school in my day. It was just, you're going to university, okay, bye.
Yes.
And then I went to university and nobody offered me any, I don't remember getting any careers advice offered there.
And I guess it's difficult to change your mind, no? You must carry on, I guess, in that way.
I think people do think, I've got to decide one career, but you don't, because I look on career as a journey, and it's not a straight line. It might zigzag and wiggle, and go back a bit, and then sideways. And
some people can be like that, no?
Some people's careers are very linear path. Maybe you want to be a doctor, you've got to go to university, qualify as a doctor, then be a junior, and then work your way up. But other people, it's not as clear cut. So I did an English degree. It wasn't obvious what to do after that. I could have been a teacher, but I didn't want to be a teacher. What could I do? I think it's very hard on your own to decide, and it's also very hard on your own to assess your own strengths and likes and dislikes. It's better if somebody like me, totally impartial, questioning you, and then light bulb, that's what I want to do. Yeah. But also don't think once you've decided that's it for life, because you don't know where life will take you. Take opportunities, take risks sometimes if you can. Sometimes, like for instance, I wanted to move from school libraries to college libraries. Really wanted to move, work with older students in more detail. But the only job I could get was part-time. Well, so for a little while, we didn't have much money. And after about 6 months, somebody left and I got offered their hours, and then I was full-time. So I took a risk. We were a bit poor for 6 months, but we managed. We had enough to pay the bills, but nothing else. And then the opportunity was there. So I would say, if you can, and it's not a huge risk, take a risk sometimes.
How people can notice or discover what's their passion or taste in this life. You know, some people can't access, you know, or it's not in their mind, you know,
No.
I will go to the career advisor.
Yeah.
So how people can notice or discover what they...
It is hard, because if you only know a set of people that do things you don't want to do, how do you know what a different job is like? I think with the internet these days, people can look up videos of people. There's a lot of good career sites with people doing different jobs, talking about different jobs. And in schools they have a lot better careers education now, and they have speakers in from different companies, or they might go out and visit a company and they find out about lots of different things. I think don't close your mind off. Take up
Not
lots
like
of
the horse.
opportunities. Yeah,
Just look
take up
at
any
it.
opportunities. Yeah, if you haven't got access to a careers advisor, use the internet and research different careers. There are some very good websites that explain what every career is, and you can do a little quiz to see what suits you and start from there.
Why you think it's important people know what are their tastes or likes? Why?
Because you spend so much time working in life. I think if you don't enjoy it, then that's not good, is it? Your quality of life's not as good. If you can get a job that you like, at least, or your passion, then for some people work doesn't seem like work, because it's their passion. Sometimes you can't get that in work. If you can find a job that's okay, do your thing that's your passion in your own time. Some people have hobbies that are their big passion, and work is just the way to get the money to do the hobby.
Yeah.
And that's fine. If that's something you want to do and you can do, not everyone has passion about work. Your passion might be helping people, volunteering, or what you do with your own family. As long as the work can fund that and support your life, yeah. But for some people, very lucky people, their work is their passion.
Oh, yes. Do you think everyone, without exceptions, have aptitudes? I mean, all we are good doing something that is beneficial for ourselves and for the society.
I absolutely do, yeah. It's just finding that thing for you.
Everyone, because some people
everybody.
think, no, I don't.
I think a lot of people don't recognise their own strengths and their own qualities. But if you say, I sometimes say, ask your best friend how they would describe you, and then they'll come back and they'll say, oh, my friend said I'm a really good listener, really reliable person, really kind, or something like that, and they haven't realised it themselves.
So that's a very good advice.
Yeah.
Ask someone else,
Ask
because
someone
when you
that
are
knows you
living
well.
in your own, in your
someone you trust,
your world.
a friend, family member, how would you describe me? And they will tell you who you are, because we always think about what we're not good at. We're really good at, we put ourselves down. I can't do maths very well. Oh, I'm no good at mixing with people. We don't go around saying, I am great at helping people.
Yes.
We don't do it. We don't boast about ourselves.
And it's so important.
Yeah. So I think everybody's got something, and if they can play to their own strengths in a job, they'll enjoy it.
Please, could you tell me what's the role of the fear in the people that you have offered your help, please?
It is scary, because you are putting yourself out there. You're trying to present yourself as the right candidate for a job, the best person for the job, and that's scary, especially if you don't believe in yourself you're the best person. So that's very scary. I think not knowing what to expect is scary. So I can help people, like we could research the company they're applying for, and look at the website, look at who they say they are, what sort of things they do, maybe even go and ask to visit. We can practice an interview, and then they'll get to know what sort of questions they might get asked, and I help them prepare how they would answer it using examples from their own experience, so from their own work life, from their own family life. So I think that takes away a lot of the fear. It's still scary going for an interview, always, but if you're prepared, I think that takes a lot of the fear away. I think people also fear that they won't be able to do the job.
Not just get it.
Do it well. So they're scary. So I always make sure they ask about training on the job. Once they've got the job, who's going to train me? Do I have a buddy person who will work with me at the beginning? And also, if I'm working with somebody, I will say, I will keep in touch at the beginning of your job to check in with you. How's it going? Any problems? And after a couple of months, I'll go, right, you're on your own now. You're flying.
You can walk yourself. Do you think the childhood stage is where we can notice already what are or is our passion? Since
some people do. I think some people do. But if I said to you, what did you want to be as a child? What did you want to be when you grew up? It's probably not what you'd say now. Yeah.
Yes, definitely yes. But some child already children.
Some do. Some
already show. No.
Yeah. They might have had they might want to be a fireman, and they've wanted to be a fireman since they were 5, and they used to dress up as firemen and play fireman games, and then they pursue it. But I think a lot of people don't really know. They have probably ideal jobs when they're little that they think they could do. They might say, I want to go to space, want to go up into space or something like that. That's not really likely to happen. So they have these idealised jobs, and as you get older you realise, actually I've got to match my abilities and my strengths and my qualities and my qualifications to something realistically. And a careers advisor helps you be realistic as well. Not that you can't aspire to other things, but maybe you start somewhere in a not quite the ideal job that you want, but it's moving in the right direction.
No, I mean, for example, in the primary school, teachers see children all the time, and they can see what are their strengths or tools, and sometimes parents, we need to notice it too.
Yes.
And otherwise it will lose, or it will be missing. And when you arrive to that adulthood, it's like, oh, what am I?
Yeah. It might not be that they've got a particular career in mind, but they might, like you say, recognise a really good strength. They might be very good at dealing with their own emotions when they're a little child and any disappointments. And you think, oh, they're going to be very calm, very level-headed. The sort of job that they might do might be having to make big decisions and hold a lot of responsibility, because I think they could handle it. So I think it might show personality traits, but I think knowing what actual career, I think you just think up things when you're younger without knowing if it's possible or not.
If you had the power to change something in the world, what would it be?
I'd like to change a lot. I think all politicians and people in power should act, in the interests of their own people and the world, and act fairly with justice and compassion, and not be in power games with each other.
Just changing the chair.
Yeah. So just change. I think the wrong people get into politics. People who want the power themselves, don't see it like a responsibility to the country. So it can be quite, at the moment, the world situation is not great place to be, is it? With all these superpowers, against each other, and wars. So
and people in the middle.
And people in the middle,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think I'd like to. I don't know how you'd change it, but honest, decent people be in power.
Yes, that's completely right. What are or is your passion?
I don't know if I've got just one, really. I think since becoming a parent, obviously being part of my family and nurturing that little small family is a passion to me. I do think helping people, if you said, is a passion. In the way that I've chosen, in both careers, I was helping people. But I also, like I just indicated to you, I'm absolutely mad on cats. That's another passion. One time we had 4, we've got 3 now. I can't imagine life without cats.
How you discovered, how you explained already, no? How you discover your passion?
Yeah.
Since you were little, or help people?
That's a good question. I think I thought that librarian was a good career, and when I started doing it, I enjoyed it, and I liked that feedback when people said, "Oh, thank you, that's really helped." And I'm always thinking of better ways to help people or increase my knowledge and skills so that I can help them better. And I like learning. I'm still continuously learning through life. So that both roles have enabled me to do that as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, Catherine. It was a pleasure, this interview.
You're welcome.
Thank you for all your share your experience and gave advices to people that feel like they don't know what to do in the life. This is so important.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining this interview. Hope this is useful for you, and see you in the next interview. Bye-bye.
Bye.